Well, hey there, friends and family. So good to see you tonight. And welcome back to the little old country kitchen. So glad to have you, as always. And I can see you snuck by the kitty crew and Gracie too, like you normally do. But hey, pull up a chair, grab your favorite snack and cold drink, and let me show you what I want to share with you this evening. It's a simple treat that dates all the way back to my childhood. And you might know it too. And what might that be? Well, what it was called back in the day was simply stewed apples. Yes, it was. And it doesn't have that many ingredients. And it is so simple to make, especially now that we have new technology. And we'll be using that new technology to cook it up in the 21st century instead of like great-grand and grandmother did on the old stove top, but you can do it either way. Let's show you what all you're going to need. It's not much. You're going to need some type of apple. I'm using the Red Delicious variety because it's what I have on hand. And you should be using at least one medium to large apple per person. And to make it a little bit sweeter, we're going to be using light brown sugar from the fine folks at Domino. Yeah, but if you don't have that, you can use regular brown sugar, or you can use refined white sugar if you'd like. And the spice of choice to make it nice, of course, as you know, is going to be ground cinnamon. And those are the three basic ingredients. And of course, we'll be having a little bit of water to make a light syrup. And that's basically all you need. So easy. Let me show you how to throw it all together and get her done. Well, the first thing we got to do is we got to get an apple prepared. And like I say, it's one apple per person. And the apple of choice today is Red Delicious. And we got this here nifty thing my daughter gave me that supposedly cores them and segments them. And we're going to give it a go. I've had limited success with this, but she loves these things and she can do it real well. I don't know if I can or not, but we'll get her started. And it does take a little bit of strength. And did you see that? Hey, it almost looks like one of them blooming onions from Outback Steakhouse. Yeah, so it definitely works. And we'll take that core right out. And we'll pull the segments out. Of course, I can see we're going to have a little bit of cleanup work on this apple. All depends on the size of the apples, how much of the core and how well centered you have it. Yeah. But it's quick. And like I say, we got a little cleanup here. So we're just going to take our little paring knife, clean off the bad spots. If we missed any of that seed and core, that's what the paring knife is for. And there we go. Toss that over there in the compost bag. And like I said, for tonight and for this dish, I'm going to be peeling these. And I like to peel them after I segment them. Okay? If you can peel the apple whole, more power to you. I've never been good at that. And you just peel off and cut out any bad places. And of course, don't let the browning of the apple bother you. They brown because of oxidation. It don't mean they're going bad or they won't be yummy. And we're just going to take, for now, toss it over there in that bowl and continue peeling, which we are terrible at. Of course, you could get one of them little machines, which I had one of those at one time. And yeah, they're okay. And they're great if you're going to do a pile of apples. But one apple at a time, me and the old paring knife, we sort of get the job done. Even if it does take a few minutes. Doesn't take that long. Now what's hard for me to believe is you can actually buy pre-peeled apples at the grocery store. I was just flabbergasted when I saw that one day when I was over at Walmart. but it doesn't take that long. You can put on your favorite tunes, listen to some YouTube in the background if you want to. I can't do it while y'all are all here, and we're preparing this little tasty treat tonight. Nope, it's just you and me, and of course, little Gracie too. But like I said, it don't take all that long in the whole scheme of things. And all this that we're cutting away and the peels will go out to the compost pile. And they'll be recycled, one might say, into some yummy treats out of the garden. And I know many of you ladies can probably peel an apple like a professional. Make Mr. Tom look like an old dawdling fool. But that's okay. I get by. And that's all that matters. Never be afraid to do. And hey, if you're an aficionado of the peel, then by all means, keep it on. Because, I mean, it does have about half the fiber that the apple has is located in the peel, and also all those, you know, yummy antioxidants and polyphenols and cancer-fighting agents and all that primarily reside in the peels of fruits and vegetables. But there we go. We got them pared down a bit now, but we're not going to stop there. We got our peels here, which you could save and freeze and go ahead and cook down to make you some nice jam. You know, apple jam. Yeah, if you want to. Me, they're going to go right on into the old compost bag for later. And what I'm going to do, nope, I missed a little bit of that core right there. That wouldn't have been so yummy, would have it? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and I'm going to chop them up some. Sometimes I like slices, sometimes I like dices. And we're going to sort of get them all same size. It don't really matter. Something to note is, the smaller you make them, the faster they're going to cook. Yep. Just the way of things. But if you like big old country style pieces, you go right ahead. You want smaller, daintier pieces that cook a little faster, you go that route too. And there's no exact science, because we'll be using, as y'all know, the official donuts checker of the channel, aka our calibrated fork. It don't take long, even with this little paring knife. I don't even got to bring out the big guns and get the kitchen chef's knives out. The little paring knife will do just fine. And like I say, you can use any apple you want. I've used Granny Smith, I've used Gala. In fact, I got some more Gala in the old fridge right now waiting for when I got all these Red Delicious ate up that were sent to me in a lovely fruit basket. They were. There you go. Got them all diced up. We're just going to put them back in that bowl right there, because that's going to be our cooking vessel. See, there we go. One serving, all diced up and ready to add some spice to make it nice and some sweetness to make us smile. So before we season them all up or spice them up or sweeten them or however you want to call it, we're going to add just a little bit of water. Yep, that's going to make a light syrup. And with the way we're going to be cooking these, instead of stewing them, we're going to be more or less steaming them. Yeah, I told you we'd be using some new technology, right? Usually a quarter cup, half cup, or you can cover the apples if that's what you want, if you want a lot of that there sugary syrup. Yeah, I don't. So I use about a quarter cup. Then what we're going to be doing, we're going to be adding a little bit of brown sugar. Now, If you're just fine with the regular sweetness and tartness of the apple, then don't put none. I'm feeling a little bit sweet. So I'm going to put on, about a half teaspoon. Or no, let's take that back. A whole teaspoon of brown sugar. And we're just going to mix it on in there. And then stir it all around. And if you think that's a lot of sugar, you'd be wrong. That's only about 5 grams in a rounded teaspoon, where your average soda, Coke, 7-Up, what have you, Faygo or Fanta, has anywhere from 40 to 50 grams of sugar. So don't let that 1 teaspoon of brown sugar throw you off. And of course, we got to add some cinnamon to spice it up. I don't even measure. I just shake a little on. Yep. Mix it up some so I get it all in that syrup that will be a forming. You know, you got to experiment. Try a little. And if you want more, you can always sprinkle a little more as you're cooking. Yeah, trust me, you can. That's about right. But one thing I always do, and I learned from my grandmother, which was world famous for baking, you know, especially her pies, one of which was apple pie, was add a little bit of salt. Just a little. As we all know, that salt is a flavor enhancer. And that's all there is to it. Getting it ready doesn't take that long. But let's get to cooking it, okay? Hey, I got to get one more thing. Hold on. I need to get me a saucer to top my bowl. Just like that. So that may have given you a hint of how we're going to be cooking this. I told you to be using modern technology, didn't I? Hey, let's get on over to it. You know it all too well. Yep, we're going to be cooking this delicious treat tonight in the nuclear oven, as we so fondly refer to it. So come on over. Let's get her going on. So we're over here at my nuclear oven, the microwave, and that's how we're going to be cooking this delicious, simple treat tonight. And we're just going to put it on in there, slide it on in the carousel. I'm sorry for the lighting. This isn't the cooking channel. This is a little old country kitchen. And we're going to be adding on high. This is a 900 watt. But we're going to set it for 8 minutes. Now the cooking time in your microwave may vary. Like I say, this is a 900 watt. You may have a 700, 1100, who knows? But hey, start out small. Use that doneness checker I showed you how to use, you know, the fork. And just add a few minutes at a time till your apples are nice and fork tender, or however you would like. But we're going with 8 minutes, okay? And it's just that easy. And as soon as they're done, we'll be bringing them over and checking them. Well, after only 8 minutes in the old nuclear oven, they're all done. Whew. And that is hot. We're going to lift that little saucer off. Did you see that steam coming out of there? So instead of stewing them, like grandmother would do on the stove top, we're actually steaming them when we're cooking them in the old microwave, or as I fondly refer to it, as y'all know, in the nuclear oven. And you'll know when yours are done. The apples become rather translucent, you know, and that fork just penetrates with no resistance. Now if you want to leave them where they're a little bit more chewy, don't cook them as long. And that, these were cooked for 8 minutes in a 900 watt microwave. But like I say, you don't want to use a microwave, use your stove top. It's going to take you about 30-35 minutes on medium heat to get your apples nice and pork tender. Woo! Look at all that steaming goodness. Can you all see that? I hope so. And it's just that simple. And what's neat about it, it's pretty darn quick to make if you're not running your mouth here in the little old country kitchen. You know, by the time you use your magical apple core and segmenter to peeling, to cleaning up the core, to dicing, or just slicing if you want. All depends on you. You can do this whole thing in under 10 minutes if you try. But hey, this wouldn't be the little old country kitchen unless we did a taste test, would it? So even though I didn't dress for the occasion and the makeup lady's already off for the day, hey, let's see if they're as good as I remember back when I was a child. Well, here I am, and you'll just have to pardon me. Got my grunge clothes on. It's been one of those days. Mostly raining, mostly cloudy. Didn't feel like going outdoors, and I'm still recovering from my accident. Hence why we're trying to eat more healthy. And that's where these here nice, fine, stewed, or now steamed apples in the microwave come in so handy. And they're so tasty and so beneficial. And we got a couple right there, and they're all steamy hot, so we better blow on them a bit, okay? I think that'll be cool enough. Let's give them a try. Oh yeah. At 8 minutes in my microwave, 900 watt. They're not mush. They still have a little bit of bite and a slight crunch. I can still taste the apple. It's slightly sweet. And the brown sugar gives it a little bit of that caramely flavor. And the cinnamon gives it that spice. That little touch of fall. And that little bit of warmth. It brings out the flavor. And that fine, red, delicious apple. Not to mention, just a touch of salt. To enhance all the flavors and bring it all together. But hey, there you have it. Just a little simple dish of stewed apples from back in the day. I hope the next time you got some apples on hand, you'll give it a try. Come up with your own favorite version of these. So until I, Gracie, the kitty crew, you know them all, Cleo, Spooky, Speedy, old Mr. Gray, and sometimes Heathcliff too. See you on that next video. Y'all take care. Stay safe. And may God bless you as you bless those in your lives. Goodbye for now. Yep. I can't wait to dig in to the rest of these. And what's so good about it, if one don't fill me up and make me happy, it's only in another 10 minutes to have another one. Life is good and getting better day by day. Later all. Yep.